Good afternoon, everyone. We'll kick off here. I think we have the folks in attendance. Yes, we do. Okay, so we'll call to order. It's right at 1:30, and um, we'll recognize that we're conducting our business today on the territories that I just submitted to Shot First Nations, at least in this boardroom. Since this is a hybrid meeting, there will be folks who are coming to you online from various other traditional territories and beyond. And so we'll recognize, affirm, and appreciate that fact. With that, because it is a hybrid format meeting, we will be introducing ourselves on camera, just going through around the table here in the boardroom, and we'll do so online as well. We're broadcasting our meetings live on YouTube, and it's embedded on our website, acrd.bc.ca. And if you had registered before today, you would be able to connect through Zoom, which I think just basically means that you're 5 seconds closer to real time. And with that, the way that you would interact with the board during question period, if you were attending online, would be through an email address, which is responses@acrd.bc.ca, or potentially posting a question in the Zoom if you're an attendee to the meeting. So with that in mind, we'll go around the table with introductions, and we'll start with Heather. That's okay. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, Heather Zenner, Manager of Administrative Services.
Good afternoon, everyone. Debbie Haggard, Councillor for the City of Puerto Bernie and Vice Chair of the Upper Unique-Woodcott Regional District Board.
Good afternoon, Glama Penny-Cote. I'm the Regional Director for Sprout Lake.
Good afternoon, Mike Sparrow, and I'm Regional Director for Cherry Creek.
Good afternoon, Dustin Dane, Councillor at the City of Port Alberni.
Good afternoon, everyone. Mariah Coots, Director for Local Justice at Tribe Government. Happy to be here.
And good afternoon. My name is Tom Steer. I'm appointed director from the District of Tofino.
Good afternoon. I'm Daniel Siam, the CAO for the ACRD.
And good afternoon, Alex Dyer, Planning Manager. Thank you.
Great. And then we'll go online and we'll start with Vida. Please go ahead.
Veda Siga, Director for Area C Long Beach.
Thank you. And Susan?
Good afternoon, Susan Roth, Director for Beaver Creek.
Great. Fred?
Fred Boyko, Electoral Area Director for Beaufort.
And Bob?
Good afternoon, everyone. Bob Beckett representing Bamfield Area A.
And Marilyn?
Good afternoon, everyone. Marilyn McEwen, Mayor of Ucluelet.
Thank you. Lavana?
Good afternoon, Lavana Mastrangelo from Ucluelet First Nation.
And finally, Kirsten.
Afternoon, Kirsten Johnson for the Toko Nation. And sorry, my camera's not working.
Okay, right. Okay, with that in mind, Uklama Sayachat, my name is John Jack. I'm the Chief Counselor for Hoyet. I'm Director for Hoyet and the Chairperson. And thank you and welcome everyone. With that in mind, we will move into the next item, which is the approval of the agenda. Do we have any late materials, late items?
Nothing from me.
Would anyone like to move the agenda as presented? Thank you, Director Sparrow, seconded by Director Siga. Any further comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Brings us to declarations. Does anyone have any declarations, conflicts of interest, apparent conflicts of interest, or gifts exceeding $250 value? Director Sparrow, go ahead.
Thank you. I have a conflict of interest with 9C. 91C.
Thank you for that. Director Sparrow, item 91C. Please interrupt if I forget. Does anyone have any time constraints? Usually that's West Coasters want to get on the road.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. Okay, seeing none. That's great. That brings us into the adoption of minutes. 4A, Board of Directors meeting minutes for April 23rd, 2025. Move to adopt by Director Haggard, seconded by Director Sparrow. Any comments, errors, omissions, deletions, etc.? Seeing none, all those in favor? All opposed? Motion carried, thank you. 4B is the Agricultural Development Committee meeting dated April 15th, 2025. Anyone like to move that? Director Boyko? Or did you just move your hand? Yep, thank you, Director Boyko. Any seconders? Thank you, Director Roth. Okay, any comments? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor? Motion carried. Alrighty, that brings us to item C, which is the Alberni Valley Regional Airport Advisory Committee meeting dated April 17th, 2025. Would anyone like to move adoption? Thank you, Director Steer. Seconded by Director Sparrow. Any comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. All right, finally, item D, the Alberni Valley and Bamfield Area Services Committee meeting dated April 23rd, 2025. Thank you for moving adoption, Director Steer, seconded by Director Coots. Any further comments? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Alrighty, so that brings us through to all of the meeting minutes. We don't have any petitions or delegations today, as far as I know. Yeah. Okay, so with that, we have no correspondence for action. We do have 3 items for correspondence for information. Would anyone like to pull anything out? Dr. Haggard, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to remind everyone about the event on Sunday, May 25th, 2025. It's a car show that we put on by the Community Action Team. The reason they're putting on a car show is because the majority of greater percentage of people of the demographics of people involved in the opioid crisis is the 25 to 44 and males. So they're trying to do something to attract that demographic. So they decide on doing a car show, and they will have service providers there giving out information. So I would like to invite board members and the public and anybody else interested in attending. So Sunday, May 25th from 10 to 2 at the Alberni Valley Fall Fairgrounds. Thank you.
Sunday, May 25th at the Alberni Fall Fairgrounds.
From 10 to 2.
10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Okay, I think that's a really good idea. Okay, any further comments? Okay, thank you for that. Can we have a motion to receive the correspondence for information?
Motion to receive.
Thank you, Director Hagan. Seconded by Director Steer. Any further comments? Seeing that, all those in favor? All opposed? The motion carried. Okay, that brings us into request for decisions and bylaws. Item 8A is a request for decision regarding vehicle lease buyout. Terry, I think you're online, so please go ahead.
Thank you. Good afternoon. So today I'm looking to get a resolution from the board to buy out the option to purchase on the FireSmart vehicle. So for the past 2 years, the provincial government through our FireSmart grant has been paying the lease payments on our heavy duty pickup. And we have seen a need for that vehicle in our Long Beach Airport, which also supports the Alberni Valley Airport. And so we're looking to exercise the option to purchase on that vehicle. Happy to answer any questions.
Any comments or questions? Director Boyko, please go ahead.
Yes, thank you. So this is the expensive one we bought just at the end of COVID, and we're paying like $2,500 a month for the lease. Is that right?
Yeah, the lease payments I think were about $2,300 or $2,400 a month, but that all was funded by the province. So the 22 months worth of payments that were made during the FireSmart lease were all paid for from that provincial grant funding. So now our option is either to return the truck, or we have an option to buy out or exercise the right to purchase the vehicle at this time.
Okay, so in our budget that we talked about 2 months ago, we had 4 new vehicles already for this year. So this would be the 5th one. Is that right?
No, this is us. So there was a budget line item in both the Alberni Valley and the Long Beach Airport. So those 2 budgets combined are to purchase this vehicle. So that's the funding that will be used to buy it, is what was in there. So it's one of those vehicles that you're speaking of.
So it's one of those vehicles, but this is a FireSmart vehicle, a 1-ton pickup that can carry lots of stuff, and we're going to use it at the airport instead. So what are we going to do for a FireSmart vehicle? We don't need a 1-ton pickup for that, right?
We do not have a Fire Smart program as of now. Our Fire Smart program just ended here at the end of April. We have applied to the province for another round of funding, but we do not have any money in the budget to support any further Fire Smart activities unless we receive that grant. In that new grant application, we have put in the request for a truck. Again, for a lease. They won't purchase one for us, but we might be able to lease one again. So, but we are in the preliminary discussions with the province as to what that new application would look like. I do think that there has been some discussion with the Fire Smart team about that maybe that truck didn't need to be quite as heavy duty. I will state that part of what went on last time was also availability. We needed something to start right away because of the 2-year time limit from the province. So our options were limited. On the flip side of that, I do think this is a good match of a vehicle for the airport. They do haul some big trailers and stuff, and so it is kind of a useful one in terms of efficiencies. They're finding it quite fuel efficient, so they seem to really feel like it matches their needs. So
Thank you very much for the questions and answers. My only final point is trucks are flying off the lot at very low prices right now with tariffs and everything else. So has staff looked at this is the best option because you can get a 3/4 ton pickup for that price brand new right now. Just saying that.
yeah, like once the price was a lot lower, but when you start adding your PST and our extended warranty, that's when that price started to creep up. So I will say that we do need to do that. I think that we are looking because we do have other vehicles in the fleet that we are in the budget that we could purchase this year. So we're definitely keeping an eye on the market. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you for that. Director Cote, please go ahead.
Thank you. Through the chair to staff, I'm wondering what's happening with the Fire Smart program then. Do we still have an employee or will we be able to get an employee if we can get that program going again? Thank you.
Thank you. Daniel?
We currently don't have an employee, so the way the program is set up is they wouldn't allow the overlap. So when we could not submit the new application until submitting the final report for the year. So the Fire Smart program has been extremely challenging, both in terms of writing the grants, monitoring the grants, and of course the overlap of programs has been challenging. So we did talk to Fire Smart, we did talk to the province about those challenges, and they are cycling through the program as quickly as they can. But it by default of not having a service for Fire Smart, we could not keep Randy. So he's been laid off. And if we get the grant, then we'll hopefully get him back, but there's no guarantees. And it's unfortunate because it undermines our ability to keep good people and to run a program. But that's been discussed with the province, been flagged. It's a real challenge and they're aware of it, but it is what it is right now.
Thank you for your question. Any further comments or questions? Okay, would anyone like to move the motion as stated? Thank you, Dr. Haggard. Go ahead.
I'd like to move that the Alberni-Quikut Regional District Board of Directors exempt the purchase of a heavy-duty pickup truck from the ACRD's purchasing policy request for proposal process and delegate authority to the CAO to exercise the option to purchase of the 2023 Silverado 3500 crew cab currently leased by the ACRD to a maximum amount of $67,000, excluding GST.
Thank you. Seconded by Director Steer. Any further comments? Seeing none. All those in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Alrighty, that brings us into the next item, which is a letter of support for the Farmers Market Nutrition Coupon Program. Alex, please go ahead.
Thank you through the chair. This is a request for a letter of support to the Minister of Health to continue support and funding for the Farmers Market Nutrition Coupon Program. This program will provide food vouchers for those in need and has been administered locally here at the Spirit Square Farmers Market since 2011. It's noted in the report some background on it, but in the last 10 years, over $200,000 worth of vouchers have been redeemed for local produce here. So it's an effective program, and the letter of support was a recommendation of the Agricultural Development Committee. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Any comments or questions? Go ahead, Director Steer.
Yeah, I just, if the board's okay, that the Alberni-Clayoquot Regional District Board of Directors write a letter of support for the Farmers Market Nutrition Coupon Program to the Minister of Health, Josie Osborne, and the Deputy Minister of Health, Stephen Brown, requesting continued support and funding.
Thank you. Do we have a second? Thank you, Director Cote. Everyone, don't see any more comments. All those in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. Yeah, reading up about that program, it's quite notable how much we've benefited from it too. So all those fresh produce calories are so much better than empty ones, right? Alrighty, so that brings us into planning matters. That brings us into item 9.1, which is an item for Bamfield. Alex, please take it away.
Thank you very much. This is a development variance application for a partially constructed cabin for a property located on Burlow Island in the Bamfield Harbor. A variance had been issued previously on this property in 2022 to allow for the cabin to be located 7.5 meters from the front line and 3.8 meters from the side lot line. Now, following the issuance of the building permit and through the course of construction, the dwelling was sited incorrectly on the 0.2 acre property, and the owners will need to apply for an updated variance. The new variance that's before you today would allow for the existing siting of the cabin at 6.4 meters from the front yard and 3 meters from the side yard. The Bamfield Advisory Planning Commission reviewed this application at the meeting on April 24th, where the APC passed a motion to recommend support for the application as presented, subject to the neighbor notification process. The applicants have provided an updated report from a geotechnical engineer confirming that the siting of the structure is safe. And I will highlight that if the variance proceeds, they will need an updated report from a professional biologist as well for the new development permit required for occupancy. So given the information in the package that's provided by the applicant and the public input process that's involved with the variance application, staff recommend that the board proceed with considering the variance subject to neighbor notification. And just as a reminder, that process will include a mail out to neighboring residents and property owners within 100 meters of this property, and compiling all of the correspondence that we receive and bringing that back before the board to guide your decision making at a future meeting. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Alex. First up, we have Director Beckett. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and through you to Alex. Thank you for the report. Alex, I just want to confirm from a process standpoint that the neighbors will get notification. Will this come back to the APC after the neighbors respond? Can you answer that before I make the motion, please?
Sure, through the chair. That's a great question. So the typical process we have is the APC will review it a first time before the board sees it, make the recommendation to the board. Once the board considers moving it to the neighbor notification stage, we don't typically bring it back to the APC for further discussion. However, that would be up to the direction of the board and the direction of the area director. So if we do receive some information that you would want to discuss with your APC, the board has the option to defer a decision on it and send that back to the APC for comment if you wish.
Thank you for that clarification. I will go ahead and make the motion based on that process. Thank you, Alex. And bear with me 1 second. That the Alberni-Clayoquot Regional District Board of Directors consider development variance permit application DVA 25005 and direct staff to proceed with notification as per section 499 of the Local Government Act.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder? Thank you, Dr. Roth. Any further comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Alrighty, so next up is an item for Beaver Creek rezoning. Please go ahead, Alex.
Thank you very much. This is a rezoning application for a 1.9 hectare property on the Walker Road area in Beaver Creek. The applicants intend to rezone the property to RA2 to allow for a 3-lot subdivision with a 0.4 hectare minimum lot size. Now, the rezoning complies with the policies and objectives of the residential use designation in the Beaver Creek OCP. We'll also highlight that the Beaver Creek Advisory Planning Commission considered this application at their April 29th meeting, where the members that were present supported the application as presented. So at this time, staff recommend that the board proceed with considering first reading at a future meeting, and that public notice be given in accordance with the neighbor notification process. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Director Roth?
Yeah, I'd like to make the motion, please, that the Alberni-Clayoquot Regional District Board of Directors consider first reading of bylaw P1525, Regional District of Alberni-Clayoquot Regional District Zoning Amendment Bylaw at a future date, and that notice be given in accordance with Section 467 of the Local Government Act. Do I need two motions for this, or can I do it all in
Yeah.
one?
I think it looks like two motions, so let's do it
Okay.
as two. Yeah.
Okay.
So do we have a seconder for that first motion? Thank you, Director Siga. Any further comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Please proceed.
And I move that the Alberni-Clayoquot Regional District Board of Director confirm that adoption of bylaw P1525 is subject to two, confirmation from a registered on-site wastewater practitioner that the parcel can accommodate on-site sewage disposal to a 0.4 hectare minimum lot size and meeting all technical referral agency requirements.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder? Thank you, Director Sparrow. Any further comments? Seeing none. All those in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. Alrighty, thank you for that. That brings us to item 9.1C. It's so, yeah, thank you. Sounds like he's gone. Alex, please go ahead.
Great, thank you. This is a temporary use permit application for a short-term rental located at 4585 Compton Road in the Beaver Creek area. The 3-bedroom home would be available for short-term and mid-term stays, with the applicants noting that they make it available for medical professionals and other professionals in the community, with the applicants also residing on the neighboring property to the north. An updated septic system was installed in 2018, and as part of the TUP, a health and safety inspection would be completed by the building inspector. The Beaver Creek APC also considered this application at their last meeting, where they supported it as presented, and staff recommend that the board proceed with the neighbor notification process and public advertising process that's included with the TUP, and that we bring that information back to you before you make a decision. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Dr. Roth, please go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question first. It says a health and life safety inspection. What's the difference between that and a health and safety inspection?
Good question through the chair. So the what we've been doing for existing homes, we get the building inspector to do a walkthrough of the home, recognizing that older homes aren't going to meet the current building code, but there are life safety aspects in the building code, such as smoke detectors and access and egress from bedrooms and access into the dwelling. So we make sure that building inspectors have their eyes on these applications before we issue any temporary use permit, and they'll make recommendations on ways to improve that. So that health and life safety wording is what we've come up with to have an inspection that's not necessarily a building code inspection, but it's to ensure that the occupants are safe.
Okay, thank you. So I'd like to make the motion that the Alberni-Clayoquot Regional District Board of Directors consider issuing temporary use permit TUP 25005, subject to neighbor notification as per Local Government Act Section 499 and health and life safety inspection by ACRD Building Inspector.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder? Thank you, Director Siga. Any further comments? Seeing none. All those in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Heather. We're just grabbing Mike again. Okay, so the next item up is item D. It is a rezoning application for Cherry Creek, so we'll let Mike get sat down again before we start. But please go ahead when you're ready.
Sure, I'm happy to introduce it. This is a rezoning application for 6088 Cottam Road in the Cherry Creek area. Property owners intend to rezone the property to RA3 district to facilitate a 4-lot subdivision. The rezoning is consistent with the Cherry Creek OCP and complies with the residential use policies of that OCP. As such, a public hearing is not held, and the neighbor notification process provides the opportunity for input. So during the public notice period, there were 2 letters that were received. Following that notice period, the board considered the application at the April 9th meeting, where the board resolved to defer a decision on the bylaws to allow staff to work with the applicants to address some of the concerns raised by the public. The letters that the board received at the April 9th meeting raised concerns about additional traffic in the area, septic systems impacting drainage, impact on the community water supply, and a general concern for increased density. The applicants have since provided a letter that aims to address some of these concerns. That's included in the package. Many of these concerns are technical aspects of the subdivision process that would be managed at that stage. The letter is attached as noted, as well as a site assessment prepared by a registered on-site wastewater practitioner that assesses the septic capability for the development. To ensure that concerns about site drainage are addressed at the subdivision stage, staff also further recommend that an additional condition of approval be applied to the rezoning that would require the applicant to agree to a covenant that requires the development of an engineered stormwater management plan at the subdivision stage that would ensure that the post-development runoff and groundwater is managed appropriately to the pre-development conditions. So with all of the additional information provided on servicing the development and the technical aspects of subdivision, the additional requirement of the stormwater management plan, and given the support for additional housing in the OCP, staff do recommend the board proceed with the rezoning application and give the readings, give 3 readings to the bylaw. Happy to answer any questions.
It looks like there's 4 motions here, correct? That to be done separately. Any comments, Dr. Sparrow?
Thank you for that. Upon reading this report, I noticed that it said that there was a 20-meter wide road across Autumn. And does that include the one corner lot, the corner of Autumn and Moore? Because I believe that skinnier there, that's some development.
I don't have that information on the west side of Autumn next to Moore. Is that what you're saying? Yes. So that would be outside of the scope of this subdivision, but certainly the ministry's road standards would be a 20-meter wide road dedication. And then if that lot were to be subdivided in the future, the ministry would require that.
I don't want to be nitpicking. And I've also contacted the Ministry of Highway to ask them to look into that bridge. Gravel bed. Awesome. Restrictions. So, but other than that, I'm happy to read out the. Okay, so I would recommend that the Bernie Clay Regional District Board of Directors add additional condition of approval to the adoption of bylaw P1524 that includes the application agreeing to restrictive covenant requiring that a stormwater management plan prepared by an engineer be required at subdivision to ensure that runoff and groundwater is managed to a pre-development condition.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder? Thank you, Director Cote. Comment, Director Boyko, please go ahead.
Thank you. Director Sparrow, you're really hard to hear when you turn your head away from the mic. I missed basically all the questions you asked Alex, but I think I agree with everything that's going on. Thank you.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I look at the person I talked to, and unfortunately Alex is behind me, so apologize for that. Yeah.
All right, thank you. So with that, it's been moved and seconded. Any further comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? All opposed? Thank you. Please continue.
The bylaw P1524 Regional District of Bernie Clay Zoning Atlas Amendment bylaw be read up first.
You have a second. Thank you, Director Cote. Any further comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. You can just say second reading.
Second reading.
Do we have a seconder? Thank you, Director Cote. Any further comment? Seeing none, all those in favor? Motion carried.
And third reading.
Do we have a seconder for third reading? Thank you, Director Cote. Any further comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. Okay, thank you very much for that. That brings us into reports. 10.1 is staff reports. Looks like we have two of them that require a good talking. So Alex, please take us into 10.18.
Thank you so much. So the first report for information we have before you is the Banfield Development Plan. This is a plan that provides the review of current land capacity and infrastructure in Banfield and identifies constraints and opportunities that can impact and affect future growth in that community. The intention will be that the plan will inform upcoming OCP updates in the community, first and foremost, in managing growth, but also will inform housing needs reports, development cost charge development, of amenity contribution policies, for example, some asset management, and will also guide the consideration of future development applications in the community. Project was fully funded by the Rural Economic Diversification and Infrastructure Program and was completed with support from Urban Systems. A draft of the plan was presented to the Banfield Community Affairs Society in October. Following the sewer referendum that was held in November, the ACRD worked with the Huu-ay First Nations to review and finalize the plan. And I'll just highlight that it is noted in the plan that additional connections to the existing sewer system will not be considered for non-Huu-ay owned properties. That was one of the additions that was made since the fall. So the plan includes specific recommendations to be considered as part of the upcoming Banfield OCP update process. And as part of that Banfield OCP review, we expect the plan will be reviewed in detail with the Advisory Planning Commission, as well as Banfield Services Committee and the rest of the community as we set that initial framework and background for the OCP update project. Happy to answer any questions on this.
Director Beckett, please go ahead. You are muted, Director Beckett.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Alex, a great report. You know, especially when you start to see things like development costs and amenity contributions being addressed. I guess the one concern I have is with respect to the community housing. And if I can direct you to, I believe it's page 111 of the agenda, page 9, and the last paragraph regarding housing needs says that while these unit projections indicate the current rate of housing development in Banfield is providing sufficient housing units to accommodate the community's population growth, they are purely focused on housing supply counts and do not consider the other barriers to housing attainability, such as affordability or appropriateness. The ACRD acknowledges this data is skewed because it does not accurately reflect housing availability in Banfield, particularly for rental housing, as the community has a low vacancy rate. The data indicate that a high proportion of non-resident property owners may own vacation or second homes that are not available for long-term housing stock. Such barriers will be addressed and discussed in the community's housing needs assessment that will be undertaken in 2025. And I don't want to get on a soapbox, but you know, the one piece that is clearly not adequately addressed is our reality for housing in Banfield. I'm glad that we've acknowledged that the previous housing assessment certainly lacked the depth, I think, that would identify and disclose that we're really struggling here, keeping young professionals, keeping seasonal workers, et cetera, et cetera. So with that statement, I guess I'm interested because the report, the staff report identifies community housing needs assessment to be done in 2025. So can you just give me a little background on what that looks like? And my last comment would be, what is the process now for taking this report forward to the community? Thank you so much. And then when Alex responds, I'm happy to move this motion, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Alex, please go ahead.
Thank you through the chair. And you know, that housing discussion really builds upon the work and the discussion we've been having recently with all of our advisory planning commissions on the housing needs report updates. So that is work that is ongoing, that is more focused on the housing data. This infrastructure project, unfortunately, it was limited to the housing supply, which doesn't tell the whole story about housing, as we know. It doesn't talk about the tenure, lack of rentals, and the attainability. And Banfield is unique in that 60% of its dwellings are not usually occupied, so they're vacation homes or their second homes for a lot of people, and they're not available for rentals. So I think the solution on the housing side, not that I want to say that there's an easy solution there, but we will use this plan to help inform those housing needs reports, and that will be coming back to the board in the summer here. So we are finalizing that project. We've met with the advisory planning commissions, and we've compiled a lot of public information from a survey that was active. So I think we'll use this to help inform that. But really the housing recommendations on how we manage housing in our communities will come out of those housing needs reports. And to your second question about how we present this back to the community, I think that we're happy to have some discussion with yourself on how best to do that, whether that's the Community Affairs Society or that is through the Banfield Services Committee, for example. But this is a document that we see being used readily as we develop, not only the OCPs, but those other policy documents that I talked about. So we would like to see this more discussed in the community. We're happy to do so. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Beckett.
Thank you, Alex, for that report and those comments. And I am pleased with the report. It's a really good starting point and gives the community a lot of background with respect to the upcoming discussions on the OCP. And I can see the Director Boyko does have a comment, but I'll just jump in right now and move the motion and then look for other comments. That the Alberni-Clayoquot Regional District Board of Directors receives the report titled Banfield Development Plan, a review of land capacity and infrastructure.
Thank you. Do you have a seconder? Thank you, Dr. Steer. Any further comments? Dr. Boyko, please go ahead, and then Dr. Cote.
Thank you. Am I echoing or is my voice okay now?
It should be okay. It sounds okay here.
Okay. It was echoing earlier. So I was going to second the motion, but my question is, who sponsored this again, Alex? I just want to see where this came from. If it's a third party that's giving us information that we're going to use to feed our OCP, I want to be very careful on where we're getting this information from. And my next question is this going to be done for all areas or just Banfield, or what's the plan? Thank you.
Through the chair. So the project was led by Urban Systems. So they were the consultant that helped us gather the data. A lot of the data is derived from StatScan and from BC Stats, and then of the development data and the development characteristics that we have here at the ACRD. The funding for the project was 100% funded through the REDIP program, which is a grant funding program to the Ministry of Jobs, I think it was formerly. To your second question, this was a specific Banfield project that was identified based on the opportunities that are available in the community and the changes that have happened with infrastructure, both the road and the access to internet, as well as the opportunity for some potential collaboration on sewer. So that was the intent for undertaking this project ahead of the other OCPs. But if there's more interest in the other communities as well and a need for it, then we could certainly look for opportunities to make that happen.
Perfect. Thanks for the explanation. I'm just concerned about a third party coming in and giving us information, and then we are going to use that to do the OCPs as opposed to talking to the people and getting interaction or making sure that to use this as a part of something and not a defining document. But I'm not interested in something like this for Beaufort. I'd rather talk to the people. Thank you.
All right, thank you. That brings us back to Director Beckett. Please go ahead.
Thank you. I just want to, I'm sorry.
I did say Director Cote and I had forgotten. So I'll go to her first.
I'll stand by.
Thank you. I really appreciate this report going forward, and I'm just wondering if it will be referred to on an ongoing basis when we look at development that proposals that come to Banfield, because there's a lot of really relevant information here on what the community growth could look like. But there's issues that have been identified in this report. So will this be referred to on an ongoing basis? Thank you.
Through the chair, yes, absolutely. That's our intention, that as we consider development applications, especially the more involved and larger ones, you know, we want to be looking at the infrastructure constraints and the topography constraints and all of those issues that are highlighted in this plan. So I think it'll be very informative as we work our way through that.
Thank you for that. Any further comments? Oh, yes, Dr. Beckett, please go back. Go ahead.
Thank you. I think I'm the one with the echo problem, but I don't think I can do anything about it right now. I just wanted to respond back to Director Boyko because he made some really valid points about the community, and that's what I was alluding to when I was asking Alex about the next steps on the process and how do we engage our community. But I will, and I still think that this was a highly effective document that, with the exception of the housing, which is, census data from Stats Canada, I really do think it provides us with what we could do, what our limitations are, what our reality is with respect to infrastructure. So I think it's a really good tool to help the community see the big picture. But you're absolutely right, Director Boyko. We need to talk to our neighbors who don't have housing, who are moving out because they can't find appropriate rental accommodations, et cetera, et cetera. So just wanted to again confirm that I think it was a very valuable report. And now the next steps are as critical or more critical.
Okay, thank you for that. So the motion has been moved and seconded. I don't think we have any further comments. All those in favor? All opposed? Okay, motion carried. Thank you. All right, that brings us to item 10.1B, an update on phase 3 for Long Beach. Please go ahead.
Happy to introduce that one. So we do have an update on the Area C OCP project that includes an engagement summary report detailing what we've heard through the survey, the open house and the pop-up events that we've held in phase 3. And we have the draft vision and goals to guide the future direction and next phase of the OCP update project. The input received on the key themes are presented in the report, and these community conversations were used to guide the development of an Area C-wide vision and sub-regional vision statements for each of the unique communities that make up the region. Next steps in the project that we anticipate will be to work with the community on drafting the plan policies and objectives that will be, of course, guided by the vision and the goals that are laid out here. Engagement during this phase will include another open house and workshop and community engagement events over later spring into summer, as well as a policy survey that we'll make available. And, this will be an opportunity that we're looking forward to really operationalize the vision and the goals into clear policy statements that, we'll consider how we manage land use in the region, how to manage growth, create the development permit guidelines that we'll be bringing forward and meeting any of the provincial requirements that we have to do in the OCP, and then meet any of those kind of community specific needs that are unique to this area. So all of this work will continue to be informed by the public, and we look forward to working with them through each step and to keep the project moving along smoothly. So happy to answer any questions.
Dr. Siga?
Yes, I'd like to move that the Alberni-Clayoquot Regional District Board of Directors receive the Area C South Long Beach Official Community Plan Update, Phase 3, with Community Engagement Summary Report and the Draft Vision and Goals memorandum as presented.
Thank you. Seconded by Dr. Steer. Any further comments? Dr. Cote, please go ahead.
Thank you. I see on page 156, there's option 1 and option 2 of the Area C vision. And I'm wondering who is going to, is that what's going back to the community to pick one of these or tweak it, or just wondering how that's going to go forward. Thank you.
Alex,
Yeah,
go ahead.
happy to answer that one. Thank you. So yes, it'll be going back to the community, and it'll be going back to the Advisory Planning Commission. You know, the intention as we worked our way through this, these OCP projects and have entered into how to do it. We want to be led by the community first. So we don't want to be introducing you know, statements and visions and goals and policies without guidance from the APC in particular, and from the public as well. So there's always an opportunity to work our way through that, and yeah, we look forward to continue having those conversations. Thanks.
Great. To Director Seegan, go ahead. Is there anything else you wanted to say? No? Okay, so it's been moved and seconded, I believe. All those in favor? All opposed? Okay, motion carried. Great. All right, that brings us to item 10.2, which are committee reports. These are verbal reports for the Accessibility Committee and the West Coast Committee. Because it was yesterday and today. I don't know who's giving the report for accessibility. Okay, Director Siga, are you able to give a verbal update from the meeting yesterday? Yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. You are muted though.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was a really good meeting, good information, new members on the board. And there was a presentation by a group that I was totally unfamiliar with, who are experiencing difficulty with inclusive playground areas. Yeah, so good stuff happening. Thanks.
Okay, thank you for that. For the West Coast Committee, Dr. Steer, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you through the chair. Yeah, we just 4 hours ago had our meeting, and I just wanted to point out a couple of really highlights. And the first was a delegation from Area C and one of the community members around some of the issues that are happening with the implementation of our new BC Transit service on the West Coast. And it was a great example of community engagement, and the community member came forward representing a vast number of the people in that in the Millstream subdivision area. And not only did she identify some of the concerns, which were real legitimate concerns, she also provided solutions. And we had Eddie here to help in those conversations. So it was really heartwarming to see in a very civil way that engagement of the community and how important that was, especially with the new service that we're providing. So I was very pleased to be able to have the citizen come forward and to present that, driving all the way from the West Coast. So it actually worked out well. They had dental appointments for the family while they were here. So it all worked out really well. And then the other, and I want to commend the committee today for the work on our grants and aid. And this is a tough piece of work to be done. And the committee really did an excellent job of looking and going through those applications for funding, and the criterias that they used and evaluated. And we were fortunate to have some of the participants or applicants in the room here to give us clarification. So I really wanted to extend a thank you to the committee for the work they did on that this afternoon. And those are the highlights of our West Coast Committee meeting 4 hours earlier.
Okay, great. Thank you for the updates. Would you like to move to receive the verbal reports?
Sure,
I
move to receive the verbal report. I'll move to receive the verbal reports.
All right, thank you. And Dr. Siga, would you like the second? Or thank you, Director McEwen. Okay, any further comments or questions? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor? All opposed? Yeah, motion carried. Thank you. All righty, that brings us to item 10.3, area reports. Item A, electoral area A, Dr. Beckett.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Nothing to report other than It's busy up here. It looks like we're going to have an excellent tourist season. And I'm optimistic that the situation south of the border will not impact our lodges and our businesses up here this year. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next up is electoral area B, Beaufort, Dr. Bookham.
Thank you. We're still getting the echo. Janice said it might be someone in the room having their mic left on while we're talking online.
Yeah, they look like they're all on. I did leave mine on for Dr. Steer's report. So if it was happening then, it might have been me. So
Do we have an echo right now? Or are you okay?
Nope, we're all good.
Perfect.
It might be happening with you, like happening to you when I accidentally leave my microphone on. So
Okay.
I'll try to make
It's
sure
only
I'm on.
when it's only when we talk online though. It's weird.
Okay.
Either way, I'll give my report.
Yeah.
Beaufort's doing great. Areas are preparing for fire season, and some of these people are already getting their first cuts of hay in. Lots of chainsaws going and water gathering, especially this weekend when it'll be nice and wet. Next town hall will be June 22nd, Sunday from 2 to 4. As usual, everyone is always invited. I want to thank the volunteers for the continued work on the Log Train Trail. They went and fixed up an area the past week. And it was great to see multiple generations coming together, learning how to do trail maintenance and multiple user groups fixing it perfectly. So they've been doing it for decades. They're going to keep doing it. That's what they love to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Area C, Long Beach, Dr. Siga.
Thank you. Yeah, we had the staff out for a barbecue, which was a community gathering through the Clayoquot Biosphere Trust Small Grants program. And I just wanted to commend the staff, everybody that was at the barbecue from the local community really appreciated the information, and it really broke down barriers and misconceptions. And I think we're all on board with moving together to create better spaces in our communities.
Thank you for that. All right, we're going to Area D, Sprout Lake. Dr. Cote.
Thank you. Sprout Lake had their official community plan open house last Thursday. It was well attended, in my opinion. There was 15 staff people there. They did an excellent job in presenting opportunities for the community to put their input in our OCP. So thank you to staff very much for that. And I'd just like to pop something in at the moment. My laptop wasn't working at the beginning of the meeting, but there's a correction in the minutes. And I could do that right now.
Let's do it after we receive the error
Okay.
reports. Yeah.
That's all.
Thank you. Next up is electoral area E, Beaver Creek, Dr. Roth.
Thank you. Oh, I hear an echo. Is it okay there? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I want to take a moment to recognize the incredible volunteers from the ATV and mountain biking communities. Your dedication and hard work have given new life to the Log Train Trail Bridge. By replacing the rotting timbers with sturdy logs salvaged from last November's storm, you've restored its original accessibility and helped reduce potential fire hazards in the area. This was more than just a repair. It was a testament to the power of community. You saw a need, stepped up, and turned fallen trees into something strong and lasting. Thank you to the riders, hikers, and explorers now can continue to enjoy this beautiful trail for years to come. So on behalf of all who value the Log Train Trail, thank you for your time, effort, and passion. We truly appreciate it. I also have another comment to make, and I don't know if you can you see this from here? This is a watercolor that was done by Kama Money, and it's from the new signage coming into town. And I just wanted to thank her too for giving this to me. Thanks.
That's awesome. All right, thank you, Susan. That brings us to item electoral area F, Cherry Creek, Dr. Sparrow.
Thank you for that. So in Cherry Creek, nothing's going to happen in the next months. On June 1st at 2 p.m., they're having a town hall meeting to go over the water conversion. This is basically put on by the residents to talk about pros and cons. On June 4th at 6 p.m., there's going to be the AGM for the Cherry Creek Water Board. They'll go over the AGM and also the pros and cons of becoming part of the regional district. And then the 14th is the final referendum vote. So by the 15th of June, we should have an answer if they want to stay independent or want to become part of the ACLD. So I encourage anybody who has any questions to reach out to me and I will get answers to you. I've been answering online and I will answer in person if you want me to, because this is going to be a very long lasting decision. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Director Sparrow. All right, that brings us to the city of Port Alberni. Let's start with Dr. Haggard.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair Jack. With the spring and good weather comes a lot of road work that is currently being done in the city. Line painting is underway throughout the city. Repaving has been done on 6th Avenue. Safety improvements are currently being done at the intersection of 10th and Dunbar. And a 4-way stop is being put in at the intersection of Helen Street and Latham Road. And on the fun side of things, a zip line was donated by the Lions Club, and the city is installing that this week at Roger Creek Park. And they'll be doing landscaping next week. So I think it's going to be a great addition to the park, and it's going to be a lot of fun for the kids there. And just something else, I'd like to extend my apologies to Chair Jack and our host for the next board meeting. I won't be able to be there, unfortunately. I'm going to FCM on May 28th as our travel day to the conference. So I was very excited to go because I've never been to Banfield. I'm embarrassed to say. So you'll have to invite me another time.
Absolutely. Yeah. Dr. Dame, anything you'd like to add?
Sure, yeah. Just in addition to notes that Director Haggard mentioned, a couple of exciting things that are going on, and this may have been mentioned at a previous meeting that I was not at, but there's the work continues down at Clutha Haven Marina, which is an exciting project. And my mind's gone blank on to mention, but yeah, lots of traffic work being done. The safety improvements at 10th and Dunbar are hopefully going to be something that is very welcome for the community. So yeah, thanks very much.
All right, thank you for that. I definitely appreciate the work that's being done on 10th there. It's going to really address a pretty unsafe area. So that's well appreciated. All right, next up we have is item H, District of Tofino. Dr. Steer, please go ahead.
Yes, thank you through the chair. Yeah, just a few things here. We, as everyone know, we all adopted our budget. Finally, that's over, and that was wonderful. We just had council meeting last night, and so once again, we are fee-for-service agreement with the Chamber of Commerce. Once again, just keeping that relationship strong, important. Tofino Housing Corporation had their AGM. We have a new executive director there. We had an interim, Ian Scott, who was our director before and then wasn't, and now was interim, and Lee King is our new executive director there. And so a successful AGM, board of directors once again successfully reappointed. And just a fun little thing, well, two. One, we had a presentation around green burials last night, and it started a couple years back with a close friend of mine who had requested that as his time was coming near. And so it was a fascinating presentation that our community service manager director brought forward. So I highly recommend if the city of Port Alberni or anywhere else that has graveyards in there to really look into it. It was quite a fascinating report. And then one last thing, we had our Canadian National Surf Championships, the Rip Curl Classic on the west coast of Tofino, and crowned a new men's champion, Caleb Brewwater Temple, since he was born, actually. First time, and he's probably the most underrated surfer in Canada, and just really shone yesterday. And on the women's side, his girlfriend, Mateo Olin, who has been our champion many times before. So it was a wonderful event, super family orientated, all the U18s, U16s, and then we have a new division, the U14s, or what we call the Groms. So it was a wildly successful event, and and the weather held, it was perfect, and great surf conditions for that. That's it.
Okay, thank you very much for that. That brings us to item I, District of Euclid. Dr. McEwen, please go ahead.
Thank you, Chair Jack. We have at the moment our Parks and Recreation Master Plan is being reviewed. There are 3 pop-up events. There was one yesterday, one today, or sorry, one Monday, one yesterday and one today. Today's event is actually at the Amphitrite House, which is that newly built or rebuilt Lightkeeper's House at Amphitrite at the Lighthouse. So it's a beautiful space. If anybody hasn't seen it yet, be sure and pop in. It's open 7 days a week, 9 to 5. And it's a great space for events. And our by-election is happening on June 28th. The nomination period is May 13th till the 23rd. And it appears that there are quite a number of people looking to put their names forward for this one councillor spot. I mean, probably because there's, by the time the election happens, there'll just be sort of a year left of that term, which is a great opportunity for anybody thinking about running for council to get their feet wet. So that election will be June 28th. That's it for me.
Okay, thank you. Next up is item J, Huu-ay-aht. So I have probably 5 things to talk to. So Huu-ay-aht recently adopted the Huu-ay-aht Framework Plan. We concluded our work with Urban Strategies International with our partner Forum Asset Management. So that's going to form the baseline of the plan that we have to move forward with redeveloping our lands as well as our private lands that we hold in Bamfield and basically our whole hopefully as well. So we really look forward to incorporating everything we've learned in engagement with not only our own citizens at home and away from home, but also with Bamfield residents and other interested parties like the Bamfield Green Science Center and the ACRD and so on and so forth. So that's should be available to you. If it hasn't, I'll make sure it gets sent out to at least your planning staff, Daniel, and just make sure everyone's filled in on how that's going to go. We're continuing work with Forum Asset Management on developing what our relationship and what the arrangements will be in helping to develop our lands and attract investment first and foremost. So that's something we'll be looking to and making sure that we cover off the infrastructure requirements by both the Bamfield community and locally at Unanakwa to make sure that what we do is sustainable moving into the long term. So that's the first one. Second is that the West Coast Trail is open, and we received word from Parks Canada that the West Coast Trail sustained actually some serious pieces of damage along the way. Various mostly ladder systems, but also a couple of bridges were subject to either wind throws, landslides, or washouts. And so anybody who is on the West Coast Trail should probably plan for reroutes and increased wait times to get through some of these I was going to say obstacles, but I guess they should be called features. With that in mind, we just want to voice our appreciation for Parks Canada letting us know as soon as possible. I've done a few radio interviews about it now, and I just want to make sure that we're cognizant of the fact that it'll probably take a bit more time to hike it, and that this seems like yet more evidence of increased climate change impacts. So climate change related mitigation and adaptation measures are probably needed, and something that I think I'll just repeat as often as I can to make sure that the federal government is paying attention to that. In addition, on May 28th, we'll be hosting the ACRD for a board meeting as well as a tour of the territory, including the Bamfield community. And then we'll have a lunch and hold our board meeting in a hopefully completed renovation of the House of Huu-ay-aht, which leads into on July 19th, we'll be hosting a 25-year celebration for the House of Huu-ay-aht, which is why we've renovated it. And it will be done by then. And everyone here is invited if they can make it. It's a celebration on the 19th, which I believe is a Saturday, and it'll be culture, food, and celebration. So you're more than invited if you can make it, Deb. So another part of that is June 21st is the Aboriginal Peoples Day, and I believe the Friday is a day off, the 20th, for a lot of organizations, if not this one. But it would be great to see folks out there. I still haven't figured out where I'm going to be this year, but I do appreciate that many ACRD staff, Alex included, because I see him every year coming out to these things, and it's really great. And then lastly, where is it? Nope, that's it. Hey, I'm done. So with that in mind, that's pretty much the update. We're continuing to work on all of the things we do at Huu-ay-aht to try to make our economic development projects more profitable, but also diversify our investments in places that aren't reliant on just resource extraction. So development of our assets in Banfield are primary to that because they're in such a good location. So we'll make sure that we'll be working closely with Banfield and the SCRD on making sure that fits all of the planning and all of the community relationship building we've been doing. So respect and mutual interest is something that we want to keep in mind. So with that, we'll go into the next report, which is the Toquat Nation. So Kirsten, please go ahead.
Afternoon. So we are busy planning for our 2-day People's Assembly celebration, whatever, in June. So our new lodge is open, so citizens can actually stay on site. So that's exciting. And one of the little events we're going to do is do a walk from Makoa to Secret Beach to sort of do a ceremony groundbreaking for where our new government building will be built. It's got some infrastructure started right now. And yeah, I think that's it. Thanks.
Okay, thank you for that. That brings us to the Ho-Chukwu Tribe government. Director Coots, please go ahead.
Thank you, Master Chair. I don't have really a whole lot to report in the means of anything coming from us. However, I just wanted to raise our hands from Wet'suwet'en to the city. Those are some amazing traffic control changes up and coming. As we know, it's been a long time coming for 10th Avenue to be dealt with. But on a personal note as well, as Ho-Chukwu historically has had a handful of elders living within the Latham area, that is also a really, really exciting change happening. We are well aware that people really like to fly along Latham. I think the four-way is going to be a really good addition. On another side note, we want to raise our hands and thank the Boom Busters group. We have a handful of students and youth who participate in the outdoor education learning group, and they had went and participated, I believe last week, might have been the week before, sometime this month, and they went and were able to go and spend some time in the Beaver Creek area, and they helped get rid of a bunch of broom in the Evergreen Park. So that was really amazing. We were really appreciative to get the kids out there, teach them how to work, do the things, and working hard for the community. So yeah, Gleco, hands up to everyone. Thanks.
Thank you for that update. That brings us to the Klufotat government. Lavana, please go ahead. Director Mastrandella.
Thank you. A couple updates from the government. We have officially started the education department, and we have our new director of education starting that position and has started the position. We have a new portfolio that has emerged from the community services portfolio, which is the education portfolio. And that also allowed us to add another executive to the executive members of legislature. So we have 2 new executives on our board, and then we will also be announcing our by-election soon to replace the former culture and heritage member. But it will be for an ordinary member of legislature, as we have our full executive board now. And that's about it for those updates from the government on our side. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Mastrangelo. I would really love to have some sort of primer on your government structure because it's so much different than who it's, but it seems just as effective. So, so with that in mind, we have received all the area reports. Could I have a motion to receive the reports? Thank you, Director Coots, seconded by Director Steer. Any further comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. Perhaps not a primer presentation here. Maybe I just come to you. With that, we go into unfinished business. Item 11A is a notice of motion to discuss recorded meetings. I don't know who's speaking to that. Director Boyko, please go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Chair. I just want to make a motion that all meetings, advisory planning committees, advisory committees, everything that is recorded is recorded and saved for people to review, whether it's members of the public or other directors that aren't in that committee for future reference for a variety of reasons. But in the spirit of openness, transparency, and accountability, this should be done. So the default moving forward will be to record all meetings. If they're not streamed live, then they're recorded and shown later. We have the technology. We're paying for the technology. Let's make it happen. Thank you.
Okay, so with the notice of motion, that'll be that it will be an agenda item at a future meeting with a full briefing note. Does it need a motion for those wheels to turn? And yeah,
Yeah, if Director Boyko is moving the motion that's on the agenda, that's.
yeah, so he's already spoken to it. Would you like to read it out and then we'll have Dr. Roth second? I assume, yeah, that's what you're doing. Okay. So the motion is that the Alberni Clackett Regional District Board of Directors add to the procedure bylaw review scheduled for May 21st, 2025, a discussion to have all board, committee, and APC meetings recorded. Get rid of it.
Yes, I will make that motion and someone else can second it. It doesn't have to be Roth. Thank you.
I think she's the one who wanted to second it though, so she was moving her hand. Okay, seconded by Dr. Roth. Any further comments? Yes, Dr. Sparrow, go ahead.
I should comment now or later. What happened? We have a committee that doesn't have Wi-Fi and we can't record on site. That's a part of the report coming up?
I think that would be a part of the report or part of the discussion because Dr. Boyko did say in his initial introduction of the topic that if it can't be live broadcast, at least record it and then post it later. So we can do that. You just need a computer.
Yeah, and staff has already confirmed that they have the ability to do that. Thank you.
Yeah. Once again, I will always reiterate, the District of Ucluelet has the best setup. So just keep looking at what they do. Because the OWL systems are just so easy to use. Okay, so moved and seconded. Any further comments? Saying none. All those in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. All right. So that will be added for discussion on May 21st. All right. It doesn't appear that we have any late business. Do we have any questions from question period? Oh, sorry. Penny, please go ahead.
Thank you. Sorry, my laptop wasn't functioning when we first started our meeting. But I missed a correction on page 12, the members' reports, 10.3E, AVICC elections. So it was President Ben Gesselbrick, first Vice President Vanessa Craig, second Vice President Sarah Fowler. Directors at large would be Will Cole Hamilton, Trina Isaacson, and Allison McKenzie, which were not reported in this. And also Donna McMahon is the electoral area director representative. So I make that correction.
So that's moved as a correction. Do we have a seconder? Thank you, Dr. Coops. All those in favor? All opposed? The motion carried. So we'll make sure that it's updated with those corrections. Further comment?
Yes, I also wanted to bring up at the beginning that I wanted to ask staff about when we were going to be hearing from Ministry of Transportation regarding the questions I had about the highway through Cathedral Grove and what their plans are. When will we be seeing Ministry of Transportation come to our board? And also now I'm seeing a lot of the moths outside, and I'm wondering if those are the moths that destroyed Stanley Park. And I know they've sprayed some areas, and I would like to know if this is an issue this year and if we will be seeing any spraying. Thank you. I'm not sure what the moths are called, but they're
Alex, do you want to take a stab at this?
Yeah, absolutely. We so there is actually a monitoring program that's led here locally, and I know Amy Needham, our sustainability planner, has a lot of information on that. So there's a group of local volunteers that are helping track them and identify them with the appropriate staff at the ministry. So we can follow up with you on that. Let you know.
All right, thank you for that. Any further late business?
Same. We'll reach back out to the ministry. We did talk to them. So we don't have a date yet, but we'll reach out again.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm hearing from the public. They're asking when the Ministry of Transportation is gonna come forward with their plan. Thanks.
Here, we'll reiterate it at every chance we get. Okay, that brings us to item 13, question period. Do we have any responses at acrd.bc.ca?
No emails and nothing in Zoom.
Thank you. Any further comments? There doesn't appear to be anyone in the gallery. That brings us to a recess. This is to recess the meeting to go into the regional hospital district. Could I have a motion to do so? Thank you, Dr. Coots, seconded by Dr. Steer. Any further comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? Motion carried. We are in recess. I'm going to grab coffee.
How about if we take like a 2-minute break? Bio break.
I'm just hitting the button so people know we should start. Thank you, Deb.
We're waiting for Director Roth and Director Sika. If you can hear me, perfect, awesome. Okay, I'd like to call the May 14th Hospital District Board of Directors meeting to order. I would like to acknowledge that we are conducting this meeting on unceded traditional territories of the Shuswap First Nations, and we are grateful for the opportunity to do so. We also have directors calling in from other territories. I would like to also acknowledge those nations and express our gratitude and our respect. Notice to attendees and delegates that this meeting is being recorded and live streamed to YouTube on the Regional District website. We have an agenda in front of us. Is there any additions from directors? Seeing none, is there any additions from the corporate officer?
Nothing from me.
Thank you. Could get a motion to approve the agenda as presented, moved by Director Steer, second by Director Sparrow. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. Any conflicts of interest? Seeing none, we have a Board of Directors meeting minutes from April 9th, 2025. Is there any errors or omissions? Seeing none, could I get a motion that the minutes of the Alberni Clayoquot Regional Hospital District Board of Directors meeting held on April 9th, 2025 be adopted?
I'll move adoption.
Moved by Director Steer. Second by Director Coots. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. No petitions, delegations, or presentations today. No correspondence for action. No correspondence for information. No request for a decision in bylaws. So we go straight to reports. Banfield Health Center, Director Beckett, please go ahead.
No report, thank you.
Thank you, Director Beckett. Alberni Clayoquot Continuing Care Society, Director Sika. Oh, you're muted, Director Sika.
Okay, sorry about that. Last board meeting was held April 29th, and staffing seems to be improving a bit, and things are going well.
Thank you, Director Sika. West Coast Native Healthcare Society, Director Cote.
Thank you. So the West Coast Native Healthcare Society has a proposal for another 3-floor low-cost housing unit, and they went to a public hearing with the city on Monday, May 12th, and I haven't seen the results from that yet. Public hearings are what they are, so looking forward to a meeting. We have another meeting tomorrow, so I'll be getting more information then. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Cote. Tofino General Hospital, Director Steer.
Yeah, thank you through the chair. Nothing specific to the hospital. I've just, but yesterday was invited by the Tofino Hospital Foundation to give an update on the status of the hospital. And also they've asked if I would help present to the co-op board. They want to solicit money from them again. And I will in late business have something, and I'm sorry I didn't add that on there when I was off daydreaming. So, but I will have just one late business edition.
Thank you. Director McEwen, do you have any update on your clinic that's being built in Ucluelet?
Yes, I had lunch a couple of weeks ago with Max Jajak, and he did give us an update. The opening is planned for September, and I was hoping with the lunch that I would get a tour of the facility, but I guess with construction still going, it wasn't possible. But yeah, we're all very excited about our new clinic, and yeah, I'll have more information a little bit closer to the summer.
That's fantastic news. Thank you. Alberni Clayoquot Health Network, Director Cote.
Thank you. Our meeting is next week. But there was, looking at this, and something didn't open up properly. There was a function that happened, everyone involved, and I didn't attend, but I think that perhaps Director Sika did attend. She can report. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was presented on the addressing climate change and sustainability. And it was just an excellent meeting, workshop. It was Amy and her CBT partner, and my brain is gone. Yeah, really just excellent information from every community, and all of the research was brought forward from kelp bed research to whale poo. Thank you.
Thank you. West Coast General Hospital. I attended the Island Health and Regional Hospital District semi-annual meeting on May the 2nd, and some key messages and takeaways that I got from the meeting was the next 3 years are going to be very challenging financially. They're going to have to be making some difficult decisions, but always keeping eyes on the quality of care to their patients. Currently, they're trying to navigate the pathway and how to work with the new Ministry of Infrastructure. Well, they are planning on doing a review of all service models, looking for any duplication of work. They've had some success in recruiting doctors from the States. However, the doctors that are coming up here from the States tend to be more in urban centers, not in the rural communities where they're desperately needed. And so Cynthia was there with me as well, and it was great having her there. And on April the 29th, Director Cote was there as well. We met with the Coalition of Doctors and other community partners. The doctors and nurses in rural areas wear a lot of different hats, and they think that they should be compensated appropriately for that. So Dr. Manliot, who is leading this coalition, is meeting with Daniel. Is it tomorrow, Daniel? Today, okay, is meeting with Daniel today to work on a UBCM resolution to take that to UBCM to get that pay differential in order to be compensated appropriately for that extra work that they're doing. One takeaway that I had is I felt the tone of the meeting, the last meeting was a lot more positive than it has been. I think now the doctors are feeling more supported by the community partners, local municipal government, and that they are seeing some action, even though anything that we do is slow, but they're all feeling supported, and that they are seeing some headway on the proposed new primary care clinic that they want to do. So that is coming along as well. Again, slow, but we all know government works at a very slow pace, but I just felt the tone was a lot more positive. Did you feel that as well, Dr. Cook?
I did. It seemed like there was hope in the room.
Yes.
And they were looking for extending out further into the community, looking at other organizations that weren't attending, like who's missing at the table. I did pass along the videos that we had taken at AVICC for the health care sessions that we did. So I did share that. And we're looking at possibly an engagement with the Fair Care organizers that to do so well with recruiting their outreach anyways, trying to do fundraising and getting things happening. So they do an excellent job. Looking forward to the next meeting. Thanks.
Thank you, Director Cote. Any other reports from directors? Seeing none, can I motion that the Regional Hospital Board of Directors receive reports A through G? Moved by Director Steer, second by Director Cote. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. No unfinished business and make business. Director Steer, you have it.
Yeah, thank you through the chair. Just two things. One, I often get a number of requests for updates on the status of the where we're at with the concept plan with the Tofino General potential replacement of the Tofino General Hospital. And I know it's before cabinet now, but I would like to request maybe, and we've had Dave Boychuk come in the past, and maybe to present to the Regional Hospital Board and give us a status update. And I think maybe at the same time, if he's able to comment on the new role of the Ministry of Infrastructure and Minister Maud and the work that I know will be closely related now into those the business plan phase if we move to that, which I'm confident we are. But it would be wonderful to have an update from there. And I think Dave is the one that we've tapped to before, and I think would probably be the most appropriate invitation. So thank you. Do we need a motion for that?
Daniel?
You actually don't need a motion for that one. We're already working on a schedule we were going to bring forward out of the strategic planning. We were going to try and have 2 of these a year, of which the last session with Catherine Rockendale was the first. So we're going to have a second one, and the ministry was going to be invited to those as part of the discussion. So they're anticipating that.
I was gonna say that would be a great topic for our presenters to come to that meeting. So great idea. Thank you so much. And just so you know, the Tofino General Hospital was mentioned several times during that meeting that Island Health. So you are on the radar. Question period. Any questions from the public, Heather? Nothing received. Thank you. Could I get a motion to adjourn? Moved by Director Sparrow, second by Director Steer. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you so much, everyone.
Okay, thank you, everyone. So reconvening back to the main meeting, it's 3:01. That'll bring us to the in-camera portion of the agenda. So with that, I'll move to close the meeting to the public as per the community charter under section 91C, labor relations and other employee relations. Do I have a seconder? Thank you, Director Coots. Any comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? All opposed? Motion